Well, hey there, it's Elka.
And Jen, welcome, welcome. We are doing our mini design boot camp today, and we're super excited. We will wait for some people to hop on in the comment section, right? Hey, where you're from and what you're most excited about today. And what we're going to do is actually get you to pop in some links in the chat of designs on Zazzle that you want us to critique. And I'm gonna.
Do we need another computer?
Yeah, I'm gonna
for
grab
that?
your
Okay.
other computer actually.
All right. So here's the way it goes. We're gonna have one of these. It depends. We're the impromptu. We're gonna do these impromptu every so often. We had one last month. We're having one this month, which is today. Hello, Patricia Ann. Hello, Liz. Hello, Facebook user from Florida. Make sure you just actually say who you are, because when you're in StreamYard, I can't see that just says Facebook user unless you've agreed to the StreamYard agreement to let them use your name. So just do that. And yeah, the way this works is it's an hour-long, just free mini design bootcamp. What it mainly comes into is like a design critique for people who post their links. We'll go in order, and actually something just happened with the lighting.
Yeah, because I unplugged it.
Okay.
Just give me a moment.
Awesome. No problem. As long as it's not on their ends, it's just on our end. Okay. So, and then there's, if you like this, then you'll realize that you might have a lot more that you can gain from all of our training that we have. And we do have, just because we do these mini boot camps where we always have like a flash sale of our key signature design courses, which are the Elements of Design Bootcamp and the Wedding Invitation Bootcamp, very much geared towards Zazzle. If you're not already a Zazzle designer and you want to be, this is a really great way to ramp up your business so you can just get those skill sets you need to get the training and get the products that start to sell. We've had so many people who have done the training, and then they, we give them critiques. Not do they do the training, but it's very interactive. It's not live, so you can do it on your own time and in your own pace. But when you're ready, you post your critique that you want to have critiqued into the chat, and then with about 24 to 48 hour turnaround, we give you a critique back, usually a Loom video, so you can watch it, and you can actually download the video if you want, so you've got it as part of your course material so that you can keep it, watch it later, and also use that to create the design. And then the designs that we tell you to do or work on with you, they're the ones that you can actually sell on Zazzle. And we've had a lot of really, we've had a lot of people who have been very happy because they've sold something soon after they were given the critique, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, but we're giving you a taste of that today, because the Elements of Design Bootcamp and the Wedding Invitation Bootcamp are very much self-study. But the really cool thing is that there are hours and hours of video of us critiquing other people's stuff, which mainly applies to you too, right? Because it's all just the same stuff. It's just you bring a new design to the whole thing, but how do you position it for a graduation invitation, or how do you design a golf club cover? All of those things are all very, very important, so that you can sell those on Zazzle. And by getting all that big library of things that you can watch, years worth of critiques, that takes the place of the live that we have right now. But here you can see what the magic is, how the magic happens, and we're so excited for this. Okay, so we're going to take the time to just have a look at some people's chat or what people posted.
So I've got the chat up here. Put your links in the comment section of this video if you're watching on Facebook. I will also be on YouTube, because we are streaming to YouTube too. As well, if you have any questions, make sure, first of all, you...
and if you're first, we didn't even say, tell everyone who we are. We're just like, let's get going.
Okay, well, I'm Jen Clark, and this is my mother, Elka Clark, and we are Zazzle designers. We've been on Zazzle for over 14 years, and we are $1 Million Zazzle earners. Combined, we've earned like take home money over $1.5 million on Zazzle, which if you understand that, we set our royalties at 10%, which means that we've sold over $15 million worth of sales on Zazzle, like worth of product over that past those years. And when we first started out on Zazzle, we had no idea what we were doing. We made $90 in our first year, less than $90 in my first year. And we were just struggling really, really hard to try and figure out how things worked. And over the next couple of years, Elko started implementing certain things in terms of trial and error, trying to figure out what worked and what didn't. And then realize that there is a certain strategy and plan that you have to follow. And that plan that you have to follow has very important 5 components, which are our 5 strategies that we talk about in our signature course, the Profit by Design Academy. And since then, we've created an amazing community of over
700 plus minimum, like even just in our courses, right?
Yeah, in our courses. And then we have almost 1,000 people here in the Facebook group. We have about almost 7,000 people in our community, whether that be on our email list, YouTube subscribers, Facebook users, all of that. So we're just really excited to, grow this community and help you understand how to build a profitable business on Zazzle.
But the most important thing is how much of our combined community that we know about have earned or made in sales over
our students who actually let us know their earnings, because not everybody likes to share how much they've made on Zazzle, but our students who have told us what they've made, we have helped students make over $6 million in sales on Zazzle throughout the time that we've been working with them. And it's just wonderful to hear that. And the success stories are amazing, but also the way that we've helped change people's lives in terms of just helping students go from, buying in thrift stores or, struggling really, really hard to get money together to put food on the table, to actually being able to buy the brand name type of groceries that they want, or being able to finally pay the rent without worrying about where the next month's paycheck is going to come from, to helping people put down payments on a house, to helping people, take that yearly vacation with their family that they've been struggling so hard to, finally save up for. And it's just, we have a wide range of international students from all types of different backgrounds, male, female, moms, dads, grandparents,
20-year-olds,
younger students like my age and even younger. And it's just awesome to see how much we've helped everybody, no matter where you come from and where you're at in your Zazzle journey, whether you're an advanced Zazzle designer or a complete beginner. And so it's just really, really wonderful to finally,
we were just finishing our call. That's why we're a little bit late, because we finished our call with Brandon, who is one of our top earners, and he's made over $150,000 in take home since he started with us. And now he's doing, he first did our courses, then he did our mastermind, and now he's doing one-on-one coaching. And just because he wants to get to $200,000 earned this year. And we have another student who's on track to do that too. You have to do a little bit of investing in yourself to really understand what you need to get out of it. And then you have to show up and deliver, right? Yeah. So what we're doing here is giving you a little taste of what some of our courses do. And also just to get to know us. We're just regular people, just like you, who haven't had a haircut in over a year and a half.
I know, we were just
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to be able to go and get my haircut and dyed properly. But yeah, we're just here. We're just here, and we are creating an incredible community that's we're really excited about, because we've been able to empower you even during COVID. We've just it's just been wonderful. And, okay, so what do we do first?
So what we have to do is you go here on the actual Facebook chat, and then we click the links, and then we go back to StreamYard and we share.
Got it.
The first one that we have, keep on posting those, putting your links in. But the first
we'll do as many as we can in the hour. So we're done talking now. We're done. We're still going to talk, but we're not talking about anything else. So anyway, the 2 boot camps that we were talking about, with the Wedding Invitation Bootcamp and the Elements of Design Bootcamp, the links are in the bio if you want to join.
Not
already.
In the bio, in the description of this video. Yeah.
But there's the links and the coupon codes. They're only available for the next 24 hours. So you have to basically buy now if you want. If you're interested in getting more help. A lot of our students who are on actually already took them course, and they've really liked it. So it's something you go back to all the time. So
yes. Okay. So
all right, let's do it.
Let's do it. So this is Ashley's.
Jen's got we've got like an entire system here. One of these days we'll show you the studio. It's just great. Okay, so Ashley.
Ashley, yeah.
All right. I think it's really good that you've got like the sunflowers. That's always very popular. There's a bit of evenness going on a little bit because a part of designing is the rule of threes or uneven numbers, where you have to make sure that there's your eyes don't become like see evenness. And since the flower is already the same flower size, then what you're doing is the unevenness comes in the positioning. So it's quite nice at the top, but then it's exactly mirrored image at the bottom. So if you just took use that design tool where you can flip it sideways, like so from side to side on the bottom, it would create more symmetry, yet be more uneven, which is actually what people want. And so that the sunflower part definitely has to be flipped at the bottom or flipped at the top, whichever works for you. But because you can like basically draw a line from the top to the bottom, we're concentrating on that rather than the whole design going like, oh, that's cool, because it's a very beautiful sunflower arrangement. So I like that already. It's very uneven. There are 6 centers showing. That's an issue. You have to have 5 or 7. Okay, so you want to move the things a little bit around, and that would help. Plus, that one leaf here in the middle is a little bit it's very close to dividing this whole thing in half. So if you could get rid of this leaf or move it over a little bit, that would be very helpful. Okay, and then this is a big deal, right? It's the save the date. So we either have, and because you've made it a curve and everything, what's happened is you're trying to make the save the date really influential, but because you have it at a very small size, it's not actually being influential. It's just being like an afterthought. And so if you just made that bigger, then more than likely everything would just tie in really nicely. And I think there's a little bit of unevenness with your centering, because this is like lined up almost with Philadelphia on this side, but here it's lined up exactly. So there might be a little bit of something going on with the spacing, or like centering, sorry. In terms of where the text is placed and everything too, people who are getting married, they want to have their name in lights, right? So the date is cool, but it should be equal, if not a little bit less than the names of the people possibly, or because what you've got these 3 here, save the date, Stacy and Philadelphia. That's showing for me first after I see the number. And so I need to have Stacy and Dylan be more prominent than save the date in Philadelphia. And so it's really important to play around with the font size and the positioning. So I would actually make the dates a little smaller, Stacy and Dylan a little bit bigger, and then save the date a little bit bigger, but Stacy and Dylan are bigger, and then Philadelphia smaller, because for some reason Philadelphia is getting the same prominence as Stacy and Dylan, and that's not what you want. Okay, so I hope that really helps, Stacy, or sorry, Ashley. I'm reading Stacy here and thinking about it. Okay, so that's good. Next. And I hope this is again this problem where we're stuck with the
well, it'll keep bumping people down and up and everything. So Antonetta,
we're gonna pick randomly because our feed all of a sudden just cut out from like the front people. So you guys are, well, unless what we can do is we can find it on yours and then you can airdrop it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, either way, I will go up and I'll try and see if we lost a lot.
We try
more.
to be as fair as possible, but sometimes tech just kind of goofs around with us.
I think when you used when you chat a lot in the chat on the live stream, it keeps it obviously for later, but then it bumps it up for real time. So,
yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So this is
Antonetta.
Antonetta. All right. So I like that you've got the baby, like this, what I was talking about with the other invitation. Here we can see a difference, right? We know it's a baby shower. We know Gabriella's front and center because it's for her. And then all those wonderful animals around are the third big pieces. And all the other stuff is just kind of like in there as text because we need it, right? But the design is now very much clear as to what, this is all about, and it's centering and focusing on Gabriella, who's the mom. All right, so that works really well. It's a bit tight in terms of how everything's just stuck together. So that would be something we would clean up a little bit, and I think we could actually go in and do that quickly. And What I'm wondering though is this the right blue? And same with your pink. Is this the right pink? I think they're more coral based, and you have to make some decisions on your shades of color when you're looking at trending. Like for this, if you want to sell this year, there's certain colors trending. So if you made this a while back, then go back and make another color version this year. So let's just play around with the whole spacing and everything. So this little monkey, cute little guy here, unfortunately, he is getting quite small if I do that. So maybe we go the other way. And then we actually just have less of the leaf showing and more of the monkey. And we want to get to the green line so we don't get that cut off, because we need the whole monkey in there. I have to actually make it bigger because the branch isn't going to the red line. Okay, so we have to make the branch go to the red line. There we go. So we're stuck with that positioning. So now we can just take all this text and we can move it. Oh my gosh, there's a lot here. Okay, so we're going to just move this down, and then we just grab everything here. All right, so we're also going to just try and make it a tiny bit smaller. Some of the small text might be an issue, but we start with positioning it so it's easy to read, and also positioned properly. Now we just move that down a little bit. Baby shower can be a little bit bigger, and then the please join us can be a little bit spaced out now. So now we're cooking, as they say. And then the Parkwood Gardens thing is only at 10. So I would make it a little bit bigger and let's see if they can get everything else here too. And please don't use any brand names like Target. You're going to end up getting probably your product might be taken down because of it. All right. And I would put all of this in the same text box, not 3. Because that way, then if someone has more information on one of the lines, they're not going to be able to write it in because it's going to bump it to the next line. And even here, it's hard to space everything. But if you have all of this text in one line, then it's going to help keep it nice and equal in terms of the spacing between the lines. So there you go. So just a tiny little bit of giving a little bit of space, like making the monkey more prominent and going across the whole thing, and shower make it a little bit bigger. And we repositioned the other text and actually made this text a little bit bigger because it's quite hard to read the way you had it. So awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Stop the screen share. Okay, next.
Super. All right. Now we've got, I'm going to pick randomly, Sun-Free Star. Sonia. Okay.
Hey, Sonia, how are you? Okay, wonderful. First of all, this is really, really beautiful. Is it eucalyptus leaves? Or, because I know it's blue, but like, was that where it came from? Because you could easily make this like what kind of leaf is it, do you think? Is it a eucalyptus? Because that would really be helpful, because eucalyptus is trending. So I would definitely do this and do these different colorways. But if that's a eucalyptus type of thing, you could actually also do it in the green and make sure that you, take advantage of the trend. In terms of the rest of it, I think the fact that you've got this extra piece here might be nice, actually. It kind of breaks it up a little bit. It's a different take on an invitation for a wedding. The only thing that I wanted to try and do is maybe say the word wedding somewhere. What do you think?
Yeah.
Like other than in the tiny text. It's a really cool take on an invitation, by the way. Something different and unique that we haven't seen in a while.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
I like it the way it is. And I would just say that's it. And I like that it's dusty blue. That's also a trending color, but you can see already here the other designs you might like are all the ones that are eucalyptus. So if you could figure out a way to just even take this design and get a eucalyptus leaf, if that's not this leaf, then it would be really great.
I like it a lot, Sonia. It's really pretty.
Way to go. This is what happens when you're in our training courses. You get better and better. We don't even have anything to comment on. Okay. Sonia's been with us for a long time, since 2017, I guess, I think, yeah.
CC. There we go.
Okay, Monogram black brown blanket with that's awesome. I wouldn't put the peach, like, just, I know it's designed mini boot camp, but I would say don't put peach right here next to fleece blanket. I would say floral fleece blanket, and forget you can still do peach, but take out the and. Maybe don't worry about brown. Just do black peach floral, like Monogram black peach floral fleece blanket, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then I like it. It's very interesting though, but remember we were talking about the sunflowers in the first one? This is what's happening here. You've got 3 equal flowers. Actually, you have 4. You have this one here. You have, let's make it bigger. You have, you can see it already. Like, look for 3 equal pieces. The 2 flowers here at the bottom, this one at the top on the right, and then this one, even though it's not completely round, it's also acting as a 3rd or a 4th solid piece that's the same size, and so therefore your eye just can't seem to focus on where they should be, right? We want them to focus on the middle, which is the monogram. So if you all you needed to do really is make a grouping like you did here, but down here on the right and bottom and the left bottom, and then add that to these other areas, then you have your group of 3. You also have 3 branches, and then it's going to be like a really cool design. So it's just missing a bit of stuff down here to make it another grouping of 3, but make sure they're all different, okay? And you've got the start of them, right? Because each of these is a different flower than this rose up here. So these 2, you just kind of play around with it. You might be able to put a sprig here, and this one, as long as they're not, like, this one could be a little smaller, this one here to the left of the top right rose, so that it actually complements the rose rather than competes with it. But otherwise, this is looking really good. Just a little bit of symmetry and asymmetry while you're doing symmetry with the 3s, and that'll really help bring this whole design together. I'm also thinking, it's equal. It's positioned really well. It's just that the H isn't centered. So if there's another way for you to at least center the entire H, like the H into the entire blanket as a center, and then build that thing around it, that would be more... not more sellable, but it would make less people go like, something's not right with it. They don't get it, right? Because they're not designers. They don't buy blankets and, can redesign it. Oh, this needs to be shifted over. They just go like, I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it. Why don't I like it? But they're not going to spend the time to not like it and figure that out. They're going to just go like, oh, well, I see this other one. That's cooler. And so I don't want anyone to ever get lose a sale because of that. That's all small little like adjustment that needs to be made. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who's next? And thank you for your patience. I know that some people are trying to get a critique and we're passing them by, but we also want to give some people that are new a chance. Mm-hmm. And then also sometimes we just can't see them because they've already been put in the chat up above and they're already gone.
But what I like about these things is that every time that we do a critique, and whether it's your own design or not, you learn something.
Yeah.
You always learn something.
Yeah. Do you want to do this one?
No,
or should I do it? You're doing the...
Yep.
Okay. All right. So who was this again? Sorry.
This is Anne.
Anne or Annie?
Anne.
Okay, Anne. Well, first of all, the first thing I would do is I would try to find out which one of these is the best way to position this. And actually it's just equal all the way through, huh? Okay. So here's the thing. I find that hard. You see, there's a lot of people that have pictures and paw prints. So you have to figure out how you're going to make things more exciting. And so most of the ones that are showing up here, there is one that's very similar to yours because it's got a background and there's a name with the couple of pictures, right? But most of these show at least some sort of idea as to how it's all going to work out. And most, like, there's a front-on, full-on picture. And so I like your paw print idea for sure. And I mean, I'm not partial to the color, but that doesn't mean that won't sell. But go with the things that work, like red, or like the black and white, or what's another one? If it's a girly dog, then just go look at these other designs you might like, and you'll see what colors are actually trending, most of which are the black and white or red. And so you're offering something else, But now maybe we go and just play around with it a little bit so that there's something interesting. Oh, and also, okay, there's a couple of things happening here. So first of all, if you have this warning sign, that means that you set it so that the customer has to replace the picture before they buy it, right? And it's a really good option for people if they feel like they need to change the picture because this picture is copyrighted or whatever, or your own. But if you are not, like if you've just got this as a copyright-free image, then I would prefer that you don't put that on. I know Zazzle asks us to do it, but look, customers get really nervous by red warning signs. And then if they don't get it, they might just stop. They won't read it. They'll just go, oh, there's something wrong, and you won't get the sale. So try it without it and see if that works for you. Then the other thing I've noticed is that you just took the design to the green line and not above it. If that was on purpose, that's great. But otherwise, yeah, if that's why you wanted to get that white line, then that's okay. But otherwise, go right to the very top if you want to, so that we get the, and that's the background. So that's okay then. I guess it's just showing white because of that. I don't get that. Okay.
What happened?
Well, I'm just wondering why it's showing this white line
Because she has
here.
rectangles, I think, in the back.
No, I know, but it's not the rectangle. These are just her squares for her pictures. It's just
there are rectangles up at the top here.
Ah, okay. That's it. So if we just get rid of these, yeah, if that that might help, because the white of the mug is already giving you a line, and then you're trying to get. I see what you're trying to do. You're just trying to make the black be the edge of the line. Okay,
But
that's all right. It's okay. She's just putting it right on the line. The thing is that if you've got it right on the green line and you're trying to get that effect of the line, then you've got to make sure that it's truly going to print that way, not that you're going to miss out on the mug not printing completely with that black line.
Or instead of what she's done is, because you've created the background color as the beige, what you could do is actually create a shape that is this color and then add the border. So you've actually done more work to create the effect that's easily done by creating just a rectangle and then making the rectangle have a border of the black line. So you know that it's exactly even and you don't have to actually cover it up with the white.
Yeah, and then you can also bring it in a little bit so it's just inside the green line, so that you definitely won't have it being cut off in the process of printing, which I would definitely want to do for you. Okay, so and then the other thing I wanted to do is most of these paw prints are facing down, and I think it would be really great if you could make them face up, because it's just psychologically better if they're facing like some way up. So this one too, and yeah, all of these are kind of showing down rather than up, and it's a weird option that people kind of forget about, that you have to make people feel happy. And these are okay because they're leading people in, but the rest of these can all be like more up rather than down. It actually just changes the entire feeling of the design, even though all I've done is switch the paw prints. And then you could also add in a customization element. All right, so small little changes like that make a huge difference. And I like actually this one. Is this the one? No. So you had it on this one, which is cute, but it's hard to, like, okay, I got to figure out it's two dogs. Whereas this one is like front and center, and it really has the eyes just looking at me like, oh, cute puppy. And so now I'm looking at the design before I like, and then that's what these photos are supposed to do anyway. They're supposed to draw people in to actually make the sale.
And really quickly, one more thing. Well, for anybody who's got photo templates, see, this design is really sweet. Or this photo, you can see that it's two dogs, but it's very hard to actually see them because you're more focused on the actual, like the
stroller,
the stroller that they're in. So what you could do is you can crop the photo if you have enough size, like if the photos have good quality, and just focus in on the dog.
Wouldn't even do the second dog because he's covered up so much.
Like that.
Just take out the eye part of the dog.
Yeah. And obviously it has to be the same size as what you had originally in terms of the proportions. But even that, right, then it makes it look so much better, and it focuses in on that actual other dog rather than having your eye focus on the stroller and the two other dog or the other dog that's in the photo.
Yep. Good call.
Yep. Okay.
Next.
Yeah. Alrighty. So Let's see. I'm not actually reading so many of the comments. I will in a moment, but we've got a lot of people who are posting links, and we obviously want to get through lots of them first. So this is Laura. More cash sweet.
Sweet.
I know. I always call her sweet. I like saying sweet.
She is sweet.
Okay. All right, Laura.
Okay, let's see. It's a girl. Okay, so the girl is a little bit to the side. So the same thing with the 8 of the monogram from the blanket. We need the stuff front and centered if it's important, right? The monogram was important. Girl is important. So I hope this is not part of the graphic. I hope I can play around with this. Oh, good. Okay, so just by moving this over to center it, where do we center it? Oh, it's also not like, I have to just eyeball it because it's an odd graphic, right? We want the girl part to be centered. And then we can make this a little bit bigger. Whoops, that's the girl again. Well, actually, we can make girl bigger too. But now we're just going to scale the it's a, and then that's going to be cool. And then this here, we can make it, as long as it doesn't go over to the cloud. And you know what, if it doesn't like work, you can also do what Jen just did with the other thing. Oh, it's actually the swirly thing from the, I was going to say, if it's a graphic, we could cut it so that we don't have to have all of this curly Q, but since you've got it there, that's awesome. Okay, so now what I want to do is, there's way too many variations of text here. I would just pick every single text to be the same. And if this is the open sans, I would just make it this. Just make everything open sans light if you want, all light. Do you see how just changing that just slightly, all of a sudden we get to see the girl's name?
Yeah.
Right? And then same as before, we want it's a girl is now really important. I'm still playing around with spacing, but baby shower needs to be as important. Maybe that's already done. Maybe, sorry, oh, keeps going back here. For some reason, the universe wants me to make girl bigger. Okay, so if we make this baby shower, we're not really doing much to change the spacing. We still get room for all the text for sure. But now we're going to make baby shower bigger. We're going to take the honoring and make it a little bit down. And now we just make this bigger. And then we're ready to go. No. And as long as we've got enough space in here to allow for the L's and the F's and the G's and the J's, then we're good. If not, we have to play around with this a little bit more. And we also could play around with the elephant, but yeah. Yeah,
I was going to say too, when you have text like for the bottom where she has her date and the location and then RSVP, the RSVP can be in a separate text box, but if it's all the same font, like what we've done now, we've changed it. Before she didn't have it all the same font. I would have it all in one big text box, so in one template, so that if they add information or they don't use as much information as you've put in as your template field, then the template still looks good. It's not overlapping or it doesn't look funky because there's too much space in between, if that makes sense. So I would just literally take the RSVP to Katie Anderson and I would put it into the text box that has the date and location in it, so that when they add their own information, it looks cohesive and there's no gaps or overlapping.
Oh,
that's
so,
really sweet.
So sweet. Okay. And now, because the only problem I see is there's an issue with the back looking almost like a blue. So if there's any way that you can just make it you can make it a white, or you can make it a like cute little pink color.
Well, that's really sweet.
Oh, you've got a gradient on it. That's cool.
Cool.
Okay, so but if we just make it like that, like cutie pink.
Oh yeah.
Oh my. Okay, that's a wrap. I would then maybe should we change the text color to gray, like a charcoal?
Yeah, you could do a charcoal gray. So then we go in with pink and gray looks really, really nice. So we can do like
oh, it is already a dark gray.
It's a dark gray.
Yeah, like it was a charcoal gray, but this looks probably, yeah.
That what
makes
you can
it
do
more noticeable. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. Even just slightly darker, but not as dark as what the Zazzle template gives you.
Yeah.
There we go.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's really sweet. I like that a lot. Look at that, how it changed. Very pretty. Yep. Super. Nice. I like that a lot.
by the way, if we do something like this to your design, you can sell it.
Yep, it's your property at this point. This is why we have fun with this, because we like giving you, obviously you have to watch this or understand what we did in terms of the transformation, but this is Laura's design, and because we went in and we played around with it, she's able to use this to post for sale. Like right now, she could go in and change it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also don't want you to, think that now that we've done this, it's fair game for everyone else. You make up your own design from your stuff, right? But when we do something like this for Laura or any of the other ones that we've done already, they can change that and sell it on Zazzle, where it's our gift to you. All right.
So this is Ava.
And meet me under the mistletoe. Okay, and I've got it in different colors. Awesome. If it hasn't been found, then switch the title so that it's not caps. Meet me under the mistletoe, green festive pillow. What I would say is don't say festive. Say Christmas pillow, holiday pillow. Okay, something like that for the title. You've obviously got this in all these different colorways. I would say just because the way pillows sit on couches and things, that mistletoe is just not very noticeable. So if you even just did something like just brought this mistletoe, oh, it's all one thing. We can't do anything about it. Okay, so we'll just talk it through. So what we would like you to do is maybe use, because you've got the chops, right? You've got the design skills. You've made this up yourself. So try putting the mistletoe in other places, maybe in 2 more places. Maybe the bottom one is where it stays. You can keep it there, and it's the biggest one. But then you have a middle-sized one, maybe near, around between the under and the, and then maybe another one. You'll have to play around with it, but another small one, maybe in the corner, whatever works. You need to have a gradation through here. So maybe top right corner, left corner, you could have another small little mistletoe incorporated into the actual text, or you do what others have done before, gone before you, or whoever this is. You just have some design all the way around the outside. I think the key is just to have, you see, it's kind of like this one, and maybe this is yours too. So do something similar, right? And the only thing missing on this one is that you don't have a third element. You have 2 stars. You need another star somewhere with a little bit more design, so that you've got 3 variations of a grouping of stars, and then so that's what you're going to do with the other saying. And if this is yours too, let's see. Nope, that's someone else's. You know why this works? Because they have 3 snowflakes, different sizes. They have 2 stars here, 2 stars here, and another star here. And they're all different sizes or configurations. That's why this works. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with yours, Yeva. All right. It's just a little bit of something missing, just the tiniest bit.
Okay. Let's do Andrea here. Thank you, everybody, for posting your links. We have almost 70 people on. Actually, it just changed. I'm going to take a picture of that. That's awesome.
We're so glad we can help. And remember, you're watching other people's designs get made, but the things that we're teaching people about their design, you can apply to yours, right? Because, you're not the only one that has a typography. Everyone has typography designs. Everybody has sunflower designs. How do you make them more amazing so that customers just go oh, that's amazing. I want that.
Just going to take a quick video here. And so we have so many people. We are streaming to Facebook and to YouTube, but we're doing this awesome mini design boot camp, and we've got so many amazing Zazzle designers on giving us their links, and we're super happy that everybody is loving this. It's awesome. Okay,
next one.
Yeah.
Moss green gold watercolor.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And who? Oh, I completely forgot. I've clicked that. So Andrea, yes, Andrea. Yeah. Okay, awesome.
For us in the background, we have to do all these clickings. So thanks for your patience to get the screen to share. Okay, So is it Andrea or Andrea? I can't remember. But let's have a quick look at it full on. Sometimes it's really good to look at it full on, but other times it's actually good to see it as a thumbnail first. So in her case, the thumbnail looked kind of cool. It's like, oh, I want to know more. And now we're going to go into the details. I find that the text you've used is very heavy for a wedding invitation, especially when you're trying to be so delicate in the background with your watercolor and your placement of your leaves, and it's all ethereal and light. And so then the heaviness of the text really plays and downplays that. So let's see what you've got and see if I can even play with it, or if it's just like I want to get a little bit more of an understanding. So this is the all through the background. Okay. Oh, everything's the background, including that one. Okay. So I can't play with it too much, but I could lighten it up. Then that means I could lighten it up because it's a little heavy. Even the background is heavy. But how can we make it lighter? Let's try that as a filter. That's not changing anything too much. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, sometimes you can use these filters and get an effect that you never even expected. Let's try the sepia. The sepia, obviously I have to play around with this one. That's taking away the green. So I think I had this one. I'm not sure if you're into this or not, but I think one of these is a little lighter. I think it was the sangria, actually. I don't know. There's something with the sangria. So now we have to do this other one here with sangria just to fix it, make it the same. Okay, so I know this takes away and makes it more brownish, but the lightness of the background is now what needs to be in order for you to see the text before. So if you don't want this filter, that's okay. But we need to make sure that the background has this much clarity. So this background that you're choosing right now is a little bit heavy. So just so you know, but I'm going to take the filter off and just so that we can play with it as a green. Then this here, the way to make things, oh, and that's actually an image. Oh gosh, okay. Or is it a group? No, it's just a group. But I can't ungroup. No, it's your group on your Photoshop. Okay. So this is not something you should do. You could just use this as the text within Zazzle. I don't know why you did this because you can easily do that in Zazzle. I would switch that out. But whatever text you're using, because this is actually different text than this one. So even though you may have even used the same one that's on Photoshop or wherever, by using some as an image and some as the font used from Zazzle, it's different. And we need it to be cohesive. This piece up here needs to be cohesive with the rest of the text. That's the same down here. That's just the way it goes, makes people feel better. And then this is spaced way too far apart for this number. And that's weird because why is it? Oh, because you edit it. So instead of doing this, what you want to do is you don't space the word letter or the two numbers themselves, but rather use the letter spacing here. And that gives you a much more agreeable way of spacing it. Now it looks good. And then that allows you to do the other spacing the same with the other letter, the date or the year, sorry, and the date. Okay, and it just gives a little bit, even 0.05 letter spacing, just makes things cool. I don't know why they think people feel that way, but all of a sudden it looks more elegant. And same with all this. You can do letter spacing of 0.05, and actually you would probably want to have this as a little bit, Roboto bold is not, and also make sure you don't understand that certain things, especially with wedding invitations, you go with what people are asking for. Roboto isn't one of them, especially for something that's formal. You want to go up to do like Cormorant or Garmond, or you just, like I thought this was actually like a folio book, but since it's not, let's see here, serif, and then we go up. So if you go with the Cormorant medium or this one here, which is really cool, because it gives all the uppercase letters something to, but I like this one too. Let's do the bold. It's because of your background. You have to go bolder. And I know you wanted to go bold because of that. But if we just switch everything now to this one and we do 0.5 letter spacing, 0.05 letter spacing, it's going to give Lindsay and Christopher more of an emphasis and have all of this die down a little bit. Even though we're doing a bold print here, okay? All of this. And then you can see already when we do this now as a difference, when you see it in big, because this will probably be the size of the invitation. So you can see by having a little bit of spacing, it's already making it nicer. This is not spaced, but this one is spaced. And all these letters the numbers here are spaced. So I would, if I had more time, because we want to spend time on other people's as well, but I would make this go to 0.1 letter spacing, and I would make sure that I really worked on the font's positioning so that it's really focusing in on those numbers and Lindsay and Christopher. And then I would have it a little bit lighter because right now it looks gray. It doesn't look green. And I think that wasn't your intent. I think you want it like, and I would actually try, like, I think I tried it before and it was all white, and I think it was quite cool just to not even have this background. But then you just have to do, no, we can't do anything because of the way you've got it set up. But I would have the inside a white and the outside can stay that background. I was going to try that by putting like a square on top or whatever, but it's going to take too long. But that's my suggestions for you there. Because you can see already all these other ones, they may have like a little bit of some of this watercolor stuff going through within the background, which is what your intention is, but just make it lighter. You see, like your thumbnail, all I see is dark patches. And on these thumbnails, I see the text, I see the names, I see the foliage. That's what you want on the thumbnail. Otherwise, you can't compete with the other people who are delivering with that lightness.
Okay. Anne says, love this community, love you guys. Awesome. I'm just gonna take a picture of that. Love it. Okay, so then we've got Angela.
Let's do Angela. I'm glad you're asking for more than just invitations, because there's so much more to sell on Zazzle, and we want to actually get some people working on other things besides invitations, because that's actually a really hard market to crack into. Whereas these things are, other things are important too. People buy these all the time. Doormats. Okay. This is like a A++. I love it. There's nothing I would say. What about the pink? Is it just a pink initial?
Well, that's fun.
That's
Change
cute too.
The pink marble. Yeah. Very cool.
I would say you're done. Yep. I love it.
And your templates are good.
Yeah, let's see if I put more of a, like if I put letters in, does it? Perfect. You did your bounding boxes correct. Awesome. Way to go.
I like it. And sometimes like it's a simple design, but sometimes simple is what sells, and it's just very elegant and classic. I like it a lot.
Yep.
Super. Okay. Let's see. Then scroll down.
If you asked a question here, we're going to read them later and answer your questions. But if we're only doing a certain number of critiques to fit, like go through the hour.
All right, this one, Sandy. Okay. And I will pop in the chat. I've got my.
Okay. I've got the first thing is way too much stuff. So, because I'm having trouble figuring out where I'm supposed to look. But it's a baby shower. Okay, so awesome. And it's a postcard, or is it? No, it's a flat card.
Yep,
so maybe what we can do is actually give you some suggestions to put this stuff in the back rather than having everything on the front.
Is it a photograph and then cartoons?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you've tried to put... I love that saying. John and I, we used to love that saying when we were, we actually read the book over and over and over again. Okay, so wait a minute. Is that actually also a copyright thing then? Because is that a saying we should be able to use or not use? I would definitely watch that, Sandy. Make sure it's not copyrighted saying. But I think it's too much stuff on the front. If you want to do that, I would because you worked so hard on putting all these pictures there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would actually take the pieces of information about the party, stick it on the back, and then I would figure out a way to have this picture showing with all your wonderful cartoons. But I would have it so that there was a spot at the bottom for some text or at the top for some text. Or we have to put something like an overlay, like a gradient overlay, so that it's the, lions, tigers, monkeys, oh my, are, that text shows up without having all that busyness in the background from the photo. I think you're in our Z Supercharger. So this is one of the ones that I can do a Loom video for you.
Yeah.
In piece, because this is going to take like 10 minutes minimum to kind of revamp this.
And I think also I'm just getting it. Maybe I'm a little bit slow, but so lions, tigers, and bears. And then you said monkeys. Oh my, because it's a monkey, a little baby. But then you said not lion, like not lying.
Yeah.
I think that needs to have a little bit more of a like an oomph to it.
That's why we need to put the text somewhere where people can read it all.
Yeah.
There's so much to digest.
Yeah.
First, check to see if it's copyrighted, like that's saying, because otherwise we can't use that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Then we don't even deal with the design. But you tell me, and if we can go ahead and do it, we'll do it in the Z Supercharger.
Yeah.
And we'll help you with that.
For anybody who's on live and doesn't know, the Z Supercharger is one of our courses where basically all of our students are able to put in links to products.
Just like what we're doing here.
Like what we're doing here in a Facebook group privately. And we will give you personalized advice on how to change it. And you get to actually use the designs to sell later on. And we usually do nice, quick little mini videos where you can watch the transformation from one design to the other. Okay, Nikki, let's do this. We have a couple more minutes left. I'm having fun. Are you having fun?
Yep. Are you having fun, everyone? Each of you?
This is my favorite, doing designs. Okay, so Nikki, this is really sweet.
Camping and S'mores, birthday invite. I would definitely make sure that it said something like boys, girls, or because this is a Caden, right? So it's a guy. So, and I'd say 9th birthday. I know you might want to make it. If
you're talking about the title.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at the design. I'm like, everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
And so in the title, yeah.
In the title, because we want to make it specific for, like, people search for boy's birthday and they search for 9th birthday. You can always make another design that says 10th or 8th or whatever you want to do. But this is for 9th. And I would, because most of the design, like the design is pretty much spot on.
Yeah.
There's nothing really that you could change or do that would make it any different, except for maybe play around with how the tent and the moon are all spaced. But it really looks great. The key here is the actual how to get people to see this. Yeah, and there's
almost. Alexander is a pretty big name, but you just want to make sure it says Caden is a really sweet name to use, but because it doesn't have as many letters as maybe other names, you just have to make sure that it's within the text bounding box, the lines of the design. So I did put in Alexander's. It's a little bit close. It might be fine, which is fine. And the design still looks good. But just make sure you're wary of that. Always use bigger names or make the text a little bit smaller, like the font smaller, so that if they do have a larger name, that it stays within the bleed lines.
You can keep the proportions by just grabbing all of the text and making it consistently smaller by like a minus step down, because the spacing of all the text is really great the way it's set up. Yeah. But just maybe grab it and make it a little smaller, because this is going to be 5x7. So there's enough room for you to make it smaller.
Yep. But yeah, you should definitely add some more information in your title and probably your tags. We haven't looked at them yet. It is pulling up the s'mores birthday like parties, but not all of them are birthdays possibly. And then if you want to be seen more in the birthday marketplace, not just only for s'mores.
Yeah.
Because s'more is actually a very interesting thing. Not everybody knows what a s'more is.
People in Australia don't know what s'mores are.
We had a mastermind group from our Australia mastermind, and we were talking about s'mores, because s'mores is a big thing here in Canada, especially when you go camping. and probably obviously in the United States. And one of our ladies was like, "What's a s'more?" And we had to explain what a s'more was. It was,
and they're going like, "That's a cool idea."
and then they were looking up s'more recipes, and they found like a s'more cake, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So yeah, but really sweet design. I don't have anything to say except just the name. So if you wanted to make it a little bit smaller, the font, but since Alexander, I could go in and see how close you are to the edge here. Yeah, just right on. I don't know another name that's longer than Alexander, but if sometimes when boys have like hyphenated names or two names, or they like to put in their middle name, etc., just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so all you do is you just click everything here, and then you just use this little like command, and then hold the command key down and do the minus a little bit. And then obviously the text boxes are now, you can get the proportions to stay the same, but now the text boxes just need to be played around with so that they can go back out to the edge.
Yeah.
But the proportion will stay the same of your text. And that was always really nicely set up in the first place. So just go and make sure you put everything to the green line.
Yep.
If you do this afterwards. I just showed you one.
Yep. Okay. Awesome. I love it, Nikki.
Okay. How about we do like one more? Everyone ready for one more at least?
Yeah. Alrighty.
So Desiree's got this. She's put that in.
We looked at that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The shoes.
That's right. We just did your shoes.
One more link from someone. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down to the bottom.
That we haven't.
Yeah.
Because we're so excited for all of you to put your links in. But did we do Constance ever?
Let's do Constance. We'll do one more here.
Okay.
Okay. So baby egg hatched, mama and papa.
So it's your artwork, I guess.
It's a chickadee or baby.
There's so much going on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Ooh, and there's even like some design issues with the squares. Okay. All right. So whimsical watercolor, baby egg hatched, mama poppy coffee mug. But there's also like religious stuff going on. Because you've got a oh no, you've got a quote, but not a, I thought you were gonna quote a Bible verse. Okay. Way too much stuff, first of all. And if you're gonna have this baby egg hatch thing going on, you need to make sure that it's very clear, that we can understand what it is. And you had it showing with the smiley face. And I don't actually know what the smiley face would be for. I don't think that needs to be in there at all.
I think it's a baby chick, but to be honest, I think that we can make this design a little bit better.
You have like about 3 or 4 designs on this one mug. We have to take each piece and make it interesting, but all of them together are probably too much for people to handle. And it's not so much that they don't get it. It's more so that they have to like all these pieces. And if they don't, then they're not going to buy it, right? Like maybe they like your painting, but they're not religious. Or maybe they like the little cute chickie that you designed there in using shapes and lines, which, by the way, very clever.
Yeah, I just hid it. I'm not removing it. You can definitely.
But yeah, like if there's any way that we can just present your mug in multiple different ways that are going to be more accenting each piece, it'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
And then is that at the middle? The middle is the middle is there. This line, right? Yeah. So if we crop it a bit, maybe.
Yeah, if we crop it so that and you've already cropped it, which is awesome, but if we crop it a little bit more.
And we can actually, if you crop less of the top and do more of the bottom, like let in more of the bottom, we'll actually see the eggy.
Go for it. I wasn't listening like 100%, so just let me
know. Well, just like there's more here, right? And so if we can we can bring it down, and then it doesn't even need to be exactly to the edge, but at least now the chickens the mom and dad are actually over here if we want to do that, right? So but now look, even just by doing this, it accentuates your painting. Mm-hmm. And that's what we really want, right? Now, do we decide to put the painting on the other side as well, and it's just a mom and papa egg hen hatching, hen or chick hatching. Oh my gosh. Or do we need the saying on the other side? And if we do, then I think you have to make it more like less pieces again. Like I think I said before, there's so many here. Pepe's Big Adventure. Baby Pepe's is born.
Or baby Peeps.
Or Peeps is
but
born.
I don't know if but Pepe. So if it's Peeps,
Listen,
like baby Peep, like
yeah.
if you're gonna use words like that, if it's to do with certain things, like
because it's a peep 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 peep.
Yeah. But then I think it would be PEEP, right? Peeps. I don't know.
So
But either
I'm
way.
not sure if this is regarding something, but we even as designers are having a hard time figuring out what all this is. If there's something else that you've done in your description, or it's something, what does it say here? This whimsical series after expecting. Okay, so it's from a book or something, or is it from
her artwork?
From her artwork. So okay, so that means that we have to now. Is this Carl Sandburg? Is that part of your? If that's part of what your book is all like, your artwork is all about, and people really recognize you for that, then we definitely want to keep that in there. Otherwise, I would just make sure that you write all this stuff about what people will recognize as part of your artwork messaging.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. And then if you wanted to have, because it's a baby that's born, but I would say that you would definitely have to put then the baby's name in here for customization, because if babies are born, or if the whole mug is just a story about your artwork and it's actually more so for the artwork rather than like an expecting of a baby.
Yeah.
But you should
like it's almost like an installation. Your mug is an installation. Like if you were in a gallery and you go, here's the picture, here's the cute little funny, chickadee born out of, and then you've made it in a shape design. Like you're like high tech art here. It's like would be like if I went to a gallery, I go from the left side of the mug to the right. But on Zazzle, you need to bring it a little bit more to. So they get it within 20 seconds.
It's interesting too that you've added all of the templates for the quote and everything. So it's a bit confusing, as if you are supposed to add your own quote or if you're just supposed to leave it as is. And then, so that's one aspect of it. But I would if you want to keep the quote of the saying, I'm not looking at the chat really right now, but let's say you wanted to keep the baby Peeps Big Adventures are born, you could keep that there. And then if this is supposed to be a quote that you're really like focusing on, I would make it much bigger and have it on that side. And then instead of saying Julia's mug, which really doesn't make too much sense to me, because I don't think somebody would buy a mug that says Julia's mug on it, you can say the baby's name, or you could say Julia, proud mother, or something like that.
Proud Mama Julia, or Julia, and then have the birth details, for example.
Yeah.
Right? So that it's commemorating, because that's the whole point. We're commemorating the baby's birth, and then all of a sudden it's Julia's mug. But if that's what you're trying to do, is to bring it into like a baby birth announcement, which people would buy, then that's awesome. But if you're just doing it because you're trying to move your story of your artwork onto the Zazzle platform with a mug, then you keep it that way, but don't say Julia's mug, just say Julia or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like this. And then I know you said you have different versions of this, but either way, you might have grabbed some of the elements that you have in here. Peeps is trademarked. Okay, so Peeps, thank you, Sandy, for saying Peeps is trademarked. So I wouldn't even say, I would just say baby, or baby is born, Big Adventure. Or
I
baby.
don't know if Carl Sandburg's quote is copyrighted as well.
I would put the baby's name in here. So baby Alexander
is born.
And then you have all of your text in different template fields. I'm not too sure why. I know you wanted to do Big Adventure in different text fonts and stuff, but it just is very busy. And then also for having it all on the template fields for it to be customized. I don't know if that's actually is probably hurting you, because customers don't really understand too much. They need it to be simple for them to customize. And then if you want to keep this quote here, I can't remember where is it
We want to
centered.
just, yes. Yeah, it's hard too because the quote's bigger than half the mug. Like,
yeah, but then I would say like this, like even that makes it a little bit more. And then if this is an actual quote from somebody,
as long as you can use the quote, that's the important thing too.
And then there, and then we can say Julia is the proud mom, or we have the birth details. So
yeah, 5 pounds or 6 pounds, 5 ounces, or whatever. Yeah. And so from there that.
I don't know. Yeah, like that. And then I would say even like this, and then we can have the date too. I don't know.
Yeah, the usual, like Jen's not putting everything in that needs to be, but like the date, the weight, the time, whatever people like to put in.
Yeah, I guess. So here we've made you a completely different version. And as I said, we're not checking the chat. So maybe we've like completely misunderstood your design, but this is something that would make much more sense.
She's saying thank you.
I have so much more to learn. Awesome. So yeah, here. And then
we can showcase your actual beautiful artwork.
Yeah.
Because it was too small before and like too much going on.
Yeah. So this is completely different now.
That looks nice. I would buy that.
Yep.
Yeah, now it makes sense. And there's enough here and it also has, because you've got all this stuff in your title, it's not actually directed anywhere. Whereas now it's a baby birth announcement, a very unique baby birth announcement that does not require a photo. Not everyone wants a photo of their kid. They might just like your artwork.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And then if you wanted to just even have this showcase, not even have it be a birth announcement, it's a really cute mug anyway. Like this
just to put that picture in twice on either side. Yeah.
I
know you have it with the name also. I see that as the other designs you might like, but because of the words that you've used, you've actually narrowed yourself down into your own niche of the other mugs that are in this section. So we want to get you and see all of these other ones. I think some of these are yours too. So we want yours to be coming up not just with your own mugs, so that you can have other people in the Zazzle marketplace find out who you are as an artist. And this is something that we always try very hard to convince people to do, is when you're on an artist, you're not just like bringing your artwork to Zazzle. If you bring people from your followers to Zazzle because they know you're an artist, and then you say, hey, I have a mug. Would you like to buy the mug? Then that's great. But if you want to get into the Zazzle marketplace, you have to take your artwork and make it move into mainstream areas, like what we just did with this mug. Now it's a birth announcement, and it would be a really cool gift for people.
Yep.
And so, and be careful about copyright.
Yeah.
Because, awesome.
Wonderful.
All right, learned so much. Thank you again. This artwork could also be used as an Easter mug. Of course, yes. All kinds of really great suggestions. That's one of the things we love about our community. We actually get people to help each other. And it's such a different environment than when we're on the Zazzle forum and everyone's so negative and they're all like, no, it's not working. It's working. $6 million in sales in the last 3 years from our top students. If everyone actually gave us their earnings, I bet you'd be more like 10 million. But like, we don't know everybody's earnings because we've also got so many students now. And everyone's making money, not just people who are on Zazzle for a long time. That's really, really important for you to understand, because we get so many times where like, oh, it works for you, but you started way back then. Now it's not this easy. Guess what? Some people who are starting in the last 2 years are doing really, really well because they're finally doing the 5 strategies. They're getting the design help that they need, right? Constance, with that mug, she's like going, I love my artwork. Why isn't it, like, this is a great idea. Why isn't it selling? Because you're not catering to the Zazzle marketplace. That's what we teach you. And I really feel strongly about that, because it's so sad that your beautiful artwork gets unnoticed unless you actually, leverage it the way you need to. So we're very excited to be able to share these hours with you. If you want more information or more help with this, because you say you have more to learn and you just want to learn faster, please invest in one of our programs. And if you want some help as to figuring out what that is, please contact us through our Messenger, YouTube, or streaming to YouTube. Here in Facebook, contact Team Clark. And then also, don't forget, in the description, we have coupon codes for really good prices, like $100 off of one. Or no, 100.
No, it's 250. I think,
what's the wedding one? 130
I think it's 100
or
something.
135
Yeah,
off?
and then 300 off the other one. Yeah.
Oh, it's like half price almost.
Mm-hmm.
So go check those out. Figure out what you want and sign up so we can start helping you even more.
Yeah, I'm just reading all of these. I'm popping up all the thank you notes here. We love that you have learned so much from this wonderful training. We had such a great time. And if you have any questions, let us know. But we're so grateful that we're almost at 80 people on right now, 76 people, which is awesome.
Yes.
And it's just been a wonderful hour and a bit. And this is what we do in the boot camp. Like in a smaller version, you learn more about elements of the design in terms of the boot camp and the wedding invitation boot camp. This is what we do in the Z Supercharger. And we're actually enrolling for our next session of the Z Supercharger. I'm pretty sure you've probably heard about it. But if you're interested in learning more about what we do in the Z Supercharger and how you can participate and just basically get this, but like on, 10 times more. And then all the time in the Facebook group too, let us know, because it's just a wonderful experience. And we've had so many amazing designers in our group, and then they've just seen results really quickly after we've helped them out. Obviously, we can never make any income claim statements. We can't tell you exactly how to make money online and what will work for you 100%, but we can definitely give you our input. And as you saw today, we definitely love doing that and giving you design help. And as we said before, you can use all of those designs that we use today, made different versions. You're able to use those and post them for sale. And anybody who's in our Z Supercharger, everything that we do for you in terms of a critique, not only in design, but titles and tags, categories and collections, you're able to do in your own Zazzle store, and it's yours to use to build your business. So thank you very much for being with us. We just love this. I'm going through all the things, all the thank yous. We've got so many amazing things.
And thank you for saying thank you. We're very grateful that you're on and took this hour with us. We know your time is valuable, so we're really glad that we were able to be so helpful for you.
Mm-hmm. Any Clark course is worth your time and funds. Participate and do the work to achieve what you are willed to dream about. Amazing. Thank you.
Are willing to dream about.
Willing to dream about, yes.
Yeah. No, that is actually the really cool, fun part about all this. We're really loving the fact that our students are starting to see success. And if they aren't seeing success, it's because they're not implementing the stuff. Mm-hmm. It's really that simple. And some people take a little longer to understand it or implement it or practice it. That's why we have implemented all of these courses, like the ones we're allowing you to get some deals on today, the Elements of Design Bootcamp and the Wedding Invitation Bootcamp. Mm-hmm. They're practicing, right? We give you literally homework, and then I get to check your homework, or Jen, whoever's on duty.
Yep.
And this gets you going. It gets you feeling like you're in control again. And then the Z Supercharger is like nonstop 3-4 months of getting homework and getting critiques and building and growing and the habit forming of doing better at your designing.
Yeah.
And that's what we like. We're the ones taking all this time out. We usually charge $500 an hour for coaching, and now we're giving you like hours and hours of help based on like these courses. So you're getting in, like slipping in under the door. Yep. And we love doing this because the changes and what happens with people with their designing and with their confidence and their clarity, it's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's just awesome. So we're really happy, and we're blowing up the Zazzle marketplace. We really are. A lot of our students are the top sellers, popular listings. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
We should head out.
Yes. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Click on those links and get those deals. Use the coupon codes. Sale ends tomorrow at this time. So what, noon tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time?
Yep. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, March 24th. And if you have any questions, please let us know, or Team Clark, and we'll see you in the boot camps. Bye.